Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug Raw review. Time for a cheeky little quickfire review of everything that we've just seen on WWE Monday Night Raw. I am, of course, your host, Aeron, the most unpopular host of podcasting in all of British wrestling, and, of course, the harbinger of professional wrestling itself. What does that smell like? It smells like mediocrity, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what WWE Raw was. What do you say about WWE Raw? I mean, you know, they advertised a lot for this show, and it gave us very little, and this gives me the impression that they were looking for ratings. Now, when you advertise Asuka versus Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler in a triple threat, oh boy, I am far more intrigued than I really had any right to be, because ultimately WWE doesn't give a fuck. That match lasted about 2 minutes, bit of a schmoz. Nia Jax put over as a destroyer, and then she screamed at Charlie Caruso in a very high-pitched manner. I hate to be the bearer of bad news as somebody who actually enjoys Nia Jax, but the character is mediocre. It's a little bit weak. The promos aren't very good, and the wrestling is quite limited. She's got a great presence. She's got a great look. It's not the polished article. She's still very... I don't want to say green, because she can wrestle and she can work, but there's something about Nia Jax that doesn't click with me. I'm not as harsh as the rest of people. You know, I hear loads of fucking morons on social media talking about her weight, talking about how she injures people all the time. You just think, Jesus fucking Christ, it's wrestling. It's not a fucking ballet. You can't have it both ways. You can't get butthurt every time someone uses the word fake, but then also on the flip side of things, bang on at somebody if it gets a bit too physical or accidents happen. I'm afraid they happen to most wrestlers. Fucking deal with it. Ain't like none of you are going to take a bump anyway. I, of course, direct this bullshit rant at the fucking whingy little marks on social media who have nothing better to do than to eat Cheetos and sit in their mother's basement. Fuck's sake, people, get a life. That being said, it's just not working for me. It's really not. And in the process, they're making Asuka and Shayna Baszler look boring as well, and that's not something I really want to do. And I know all the Becky Lynch stands like, Shayna Baszler is boring because she doesn't do a 450 splash and she doesn't cut 10-minute leprechaun promos. Oh, fuck off. Like, there's something here for everybody. And, you know, I don't get the hate for people like Shayna Baszler. Like, you know, and anyway, you're not meant to like her. That's the idea of a heel. She's a proper heel. She's an excellent heel. But the idea of Asuka versus Shayna, for me, that's fucking money. And the fact that they spunked it in a way on Raw, it's very disappointing. I remember the buzz, the excitement about these two facing off in the Elimination Chamber as the last two, of course, in the Women's Elimination Chamber this year. And man, there's a lot more to be told in this story, but it all seems to be going by the wayside to kind of get over the fact that Nia Jax is big and Nia Jax is strong. It's like, yes, we know that, but I want to see layers, I want to see depth, and unfortunately, this is the problem with her. There isn't enough depth, and she wasn't the only one on this Raw that they're trying to push. I mean, they brought back Jinder Mahal. I was extremely happy because hashtag gender equality, and you just can't hinder him. He's so good. And he rogered Akira Tozawa, and I enjoyed that, if I'm being honest. I do like the odd squash from time to time, particularly when it's all about Jinder hard body Mahal. Oh, baby. Anyone who's been listening to our podcast long term will know how much I love the Jinder. But we also had Apollo Crews getting pushed. You know, at the beginning of the show, we had that 6-man tag, the Money in the Bank participants getting involved with Zelina Vega's new Latino world order, so to speak. Good match, great match. I love everything she does. I waxed lyrical about it the last couple of weeks. I'm going to wax lyrical about it again. She is by far and away the best thing on this product right now. She's the best mic worker. She's the best to look at. She is the best at storylines and psychology. She's not even wrestling, and yet she's the one that delivers the most psychology and intrigue to the match. That is testament to just how special she is. But later on in the night, one of her charges, of course, the United States Champion Andrade, and arguably the most talented of this faction, I think that's fair to say, or at least at this point, he put his United States title on the line against Apollo Crews. Now, Apollo Crews slapped him backstage, cut a dreadful promo. I'm sorry. The guy is an extremely talented athlete, but he is no performance artist. And I think Apollo Crews' promos suck ass. They're just so basic. I mean, when he tried to cut a promo at the beginning of the show, they had him cut off by Zelina and the gang anyway, and with good reason, because nobody wants to hear the guy talk. You know, even if he does get over as a plucky little underdog face, I don't want to hear him talking. You know, walking around with that big cheesy smile, looking like a caricature of himself. It just doesn't work for me. And he has a fantastic match with Andrade. There's never been any doubting Apollo Crews' technical ability and his wrestling ability. Both of them had a wonderful match. Don't get the ending. Don't understand it unless Apollo Crews is legitimately injured, which I'm kind of doubtful of, simply because, yeah, I mean, come on, they even had a spotlight on the guy while he was suffering his knee injury. Plus, it just, you know, it just looked fake, if you know what I mean. And yeah, weird ending to the match. I get it. They wanted to protect Apollo Crews while keeping the United States title and Andrade. This felt like one of those moments where you thought, oh god, they're going to do something stupid and put the belt on him, aren't they? And thank god they didn't. But that was systematic of the problems with this Raw. It wasn't a bad Raw. It was entertaining. I love the fact that Liv Morgan got one over on Ruby Riott once again. This is a star that's being built right. You know, I started off this review talking about how Nia Jax wasn't being built right, how we're getting to see the same old shit that we saw last time and it doesn't click with me. However, on the flip side of things, Liv Morgan is very exciting. Now, Liv Morgan's promo was pretty shitty too, but there's a very good reason for that, and that is because the fucking woman was asked to, you know, questions by Byron Saxton literally seconds of, what is this idea? Oh, you're blown up, you've just had a match. I think we'll conduct our post-interview now. And not only that, you conducted it with Byron flipping Saxton, who is beyond terrible. Byron Saxton legitimately has been told by Vince McMahon, I want you to go out there and act like the steamy, pathetic 12-year-old Mark that I fucking gag for to watch my product. It's embarrassing, is what it is. I despair with it. However, Samoa Joe was on comms as well, and that was pretty shit hot too. And other than that, there wasn't a great deal to write home about on this Raw. The Viking Raiders cut a promo in some smoke. Whoopee. I believe Bobby Lashley crushed some scrub. Nobody cares. The whole Lana thing, by the way, is fucking tragic at this point. You want to talk about something? That's a boat that has well and truly sailed. Just fucking get rid of it. It's tedious, mate. And of course, you can't bring Rusev in because you fucking released him. Congratulations, Vince McMahon. A winner is not you. You fucking roided grapefruit infused plum. On top of that, Cedric Alexander versus Ricochet. Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, excuse me, knocking out a couple of jobbers, don't care. MVP has aligned himself with a couple of jobbers, don't care. Main event, so to speak, was actually quite good. I actually really enjoyed the contract signing. It's one of my favourite contract signings, actually. Reminded me of that SmackDown I watched a couple of weeks ago. You know, the one that ended with Bray Wyatt making his intentions known for the Universal title against Braun Strowman. This was very similar. You kind of waited the whole time for that one interesting moment, which was, of course, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre's face-to-face contest, obviously before they face each other at Money in the Bank. Really, really loving the intrigue behind Seth Rollins' character. Didn't think I would. Really like the Hitman / Jesus Messiah thing. He's really going all in on that. There was a lot of religious references too. That was very interesting. I liked it. I thought both guys cut beautiful promos. Drew saying Seth's full of shit. Very methodical. The fact that he didn't even wait to strike and just, you know, struck his head off the table. I thought everything here built beautifully. Told a great story. And yet it was simplistic. Murphy came down to remind us all that he's still a disciple of Seth Rollins. Seth gives him a hug and then he kind of like sacrifices him, doesn't he? And he gets hit with that claymore. The imagery and everything about it was really, really good. I'm hoping Money in the Bank they're going to have something special lined up for us, something really startling, really exciting. You know, that would be very, very cool. I would have liked to have seen something you know, like Killer Cross making his debut here. I know he already has done on NXT, but I think it would have been fucking awesome to see Killer Cross arrive at Money in the Bank and deck Drew, you know, after the fact. Maybe he overcomes Seth Rollins and the gang, and then Killer Cross assaults him afterwards, and we lead to that big Titan clash later down the line. But ultimately, I think they're going to deliver something here. I really do. And although Raw was pretty tedious, this final segment was good fun. Really enjoyed it. It told a great story, and it was minimalist as well. Sometimes less is more. So a really strong ending to a very, very boring WWE Raw. But maybe you guys have a difference of opinion. But there's only one thing for you guys to do, and that's like, comment, subscribe. If you have difference of opinion, if you have your own thoughts on what went down on WWE Raw, leave them in the comments below. It'd be lovely to hear what you guys have to say. It's 4 a.m, so I'm going to get the fuck out of here, but I hope you've enjoyed this. Make sure you subscribe, and most importantly, make sure that you hit the bell icon so you can get notifications of anything we are doing going forward. We're hoping to bring a lot more going forward, more podcasts, more interviews, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the big news, WrestlePlug.com is now live. You can check that out. We've got articles, we've got podcasts, we've got everything you growing wrestling fans need. Don't forget WrestlePlug.com. From myself, Aeron, next to Harbinger of Professional Wrestling, we'll catch you very soon for more content from the WrestlePlug.